And Bitcoin kicking off the new year with a robust rally, the cryptocurrency hitting the 45,000 mark earlier today, a level not seen since April of 2022. About a month ago, our next guest correctly predicted that crypto was in the early innings of a bull market rally. Let's bring in fast money friend, Brian Kelly.
Woohoo!
Beakers, Happy New Year.
Yeah, right back at you. Happy New Year to you all.
All right. So why shouldn't we believe that the Bitcoin ETF approval isn't a sell the news event? It seems like there's so much riding on this approval. There's so much of the rally predicated on that when it happens, what next?
Yeah, right. I mean, listen, as a trader, my gut always tells me things go higher, I get a little bit scared, right? So I do think a lot of the speculative fever around the ETF is probably reaching a crescendo this week. So, yeah, could we get a sell-off? Sure. But I think that would be a sell-off, a dip to buy. Because remember, there are still a lot of people that have not been able to buy Bitcoin for their portfolio. So even a 1 to 2 to even 5% allocation in IRAs or from private wealth managers, they're going to be buying the ETF over the year. And since you have Tim on the desk, it'll serve as a four-on-the-floor drumbeat for the rest of the year.
Nice. I appreciate that, BK. So let me come right back at you. And before you leave, please make sure you wish Guy a Happy New Year. I know you're also somewhat enthusiastic about what could happen with Ethereum and a lag effect here, but I care more about your view about the broadening of the entire crypto space. I mean, is it Polkadot or, some of these other names, are they going higher? Are you investing there? Because that, to me, on some level, is a lot more important than what Bitcoin does from here.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Tim. When we talk about stocks, we talk about the breadth of the market and the breadth widening it out to the mid and the small caps, and that's usually the sign of a healthy bull market. We're seeing that in crypto right now. So you rightly bring up names like Polkadot or Cosmos Atoms or even Solana or some of these and those aren't second tier, those are probably, higher in the first tier. But you're starting to see the rally broaden out. And most importantly, you're actually seeing from some of these cryptocurrencies actual things being built on them. So we're seeing decentralized exchanges getting a lot of activity. We're seeing decentralized lending and places in the DeFi space starting to get a lot of loans going out there and a lot of total value locks. So all these indicators are telling me that the bull market is broadening, the fundamentals are supportive, and I think we're probably in the beginning of this 12 to 18-month bull market, which should spread to the rest of the currencies. And to answer your question directly, I am investing in all of those.
Hey, Beeks, you just mentioned how retail can buy it in their IRAs if there's a spot ETF, or investment advisors, are going to have access to this vehicle that is an easy way to express a view. What about institutions? You've been talking about this wall of institutional money for years and years. And when I think about, futures were listed on the CME back in 2017, could this be a big boon for some of these exchanges too? Because if large institutional investors are going to take chunky positions, let's say, in the ETFs, they're going to look to hedge them with futures or speculate on them, or there's going to be options created on them. Talk to us a little bit about that sort of activity.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting point, because what we've seen in other traditional markets is the activity starts in the spot market, but then once the institutions arrive, it is quickly eclipsed by the derivatives market, so the futures and the options markets. And most of these, most commodity markets, the futures and options markets are multiples the size of the spot market. So I would expect a lot more activity going on there. I think the other interesting part of that is that you actually might tamp down a bit of volatility in the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin, because you're going to have multiple players, some people hedging, some people doing basis trades, some people just doing option strategy. So I actually think you might see less volatility once the institutions do arrive and start playing those games.